Hi everyone, welcome to Sitsipandknit. My name is Marie and I'm coming to you from just north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on a very cold, snowy, icy couple of days that we had here. Thank you to anybody that has followed me on this knitting podcast journey. And also, I'd like to welcome anybody that is new, just happened along maybe. I hope you will like and subscribe and find something here that is of interest to you. I try to do a podcast at least once a month. I am doing this one a little sooner because I wanted to talk about the sweater, a sweater make-along that I wanted to start for anybody that wanted to start with me. I figured the beginning of February was a good time to do it, so I'll be talking about that. I have a couple of finished objects, a couple crochet ones, and knitted. I also will talk about some projects that are in progress. As you can see from the red here and the heart, Valentines is the 14th of this month, and it seems like this podcast is going to be all about the pink and the burgundy and the red. So I hope that you will sit back, grab a cup of or a glass of whatever you like to sip on, and follow me with this knitting crochet podcast. You can see that I have here my Valentine mug all ready to go with some, actually I have some nice cinnamon tea in here. It's very good. All right. First, I'll talk about what I'm wearing here. This has kept me warm in the house. I either drape it over my shoulders. Let me stand up here. It's a triangular shawl here. You can see that with a beautiful detail here, a little bit of cabling in all these marled colors here with the fringe on it. See how beautiful that is there. I have to say, one of the most fun things that I've knit, I did this a couple of years ago. I have made 3 of them actually in varying colors. I have 3 because this is a class that I taught to a lot of ladies, a lot of people actually. So every time that I'm teaching a class, of course I have to make a new one. But very warm. It's called the Scania Shawl. It is on Ravelry. I'll link it below as well as everything I talk about. I will put links in the description box below. This is done with holding 2 fingering weight yarns together, and you just keep switching out the colors. That's what I found was so much fun, seeing what combination of colors are coming next. But it is one of my favorite, like I said, fun projects. The fringe here, as you can see, it is actually worked. You pull out the fringe after you're done with the shawl. You kind of unravel the edge. It just pulls right out. It is a very interesting, fun technique to do. And I think everybody that has made this has always worried, is the whole thing going to unravel when I'm done? But it doesn't. It works out just fine. So anyway, so you don't have to attach the fringe. You work it as a border, and then you go ahead and pull it out when you're finished. So anyway, again, this is the Scania Shawl, and I will link that below. I'm gonna take another swig of my coffee here, or my tea. All right, So let's move on to some things that I have finished since the last podcast. I said that I was going to try to get some things done, and I actually did. The first I'll talk about, and I've been talking about, I want to show these because my poor husband has been wanting to wear them, and this has been the coldest weather that we've had here in Western Pennsylvania with the ice and the snow, and he works outside. So, but anyway, these I have finished. Let me grab the other one here. I do have two of them. I didn't block them. They are on my blockers, but I haven't washed and blocked them. But you can see here, they are, like I said, I talked about them in the last couple podcasts, but they are a DK weight sock. I held two fingering weight yarns together, and they just came out just beautiful. They actually knit up really quick. I did the first one pretty quick. The second I started, and this kind of put it down to work on something else. But once I picked it back up, I was able to finish it pretty quick. So I'll be able to give these to my husband to wear. They are the double weight, the DK weight socks. Let me see let me see what the name of them. DK weight vanilla socks by K of the Crazy Sock Lady. So I'll link that information for you below if you want some quick, easy socks to make for this cold weather. So that's the first thing that I have finished. The second thing that I have finished is right here. I finished the baby blanket. It is a crochet project, a beautiful, easy to remember pattern. I used a very, what yarn did I use? I used a Redheart yarn, actually. If you saw my last podcast, you would know that I was trying to duplicate the blanket that my little baby granddaughter has carried around. Somebody had made for her when she was born, and it's worn out. So my daughter-in-law asked me to try to duplicate it. So that's why I used the same yarn and found the pattern, and it just worked up so quick, and it actually is pretty soft. I haven't, I'm going to get it washed. It's an acrylic yarn, so it's very wash and wear, baby friendly. So, but I haven't done that yet. But it is still, although it is really thick and warm, it is pretty soft for being an acrylic yarn. So anyway, I did finish that. And let me get you the name of that pattern. Let's see. That is it's Daisy Cottage Designs Quick and Chunky Blanket. So, like I said, it was crocheted. I used an eye hook or a 5.50 millimeter. And it was the Redheart Supersaver yarn in petal pink and white. So that's what I did there. Okay, it may have been done, I have a note here, I cast on 111 stitches, so I'm not sure I followed the pattern exactly, maybe because the yarn difference, but anyway, that's what this pattern is. All right, and what else did I finish? I actually, in between, speaking of all these red and colors, with the Olympics going on right now, I decided to go ahead. I needed a hat with all this snow to go outside or take walks. But anyway, so I went and looked through my stash and found nice chunky weight. Let me see what, no, it's a worsted weight yarn, wool and mohair actually. It is by Ancient Art Yarns, and this is the one I used here. It's like a red, white, and blue kind of, not, it looks very bright here. It's coming out a little bright, but it isn't that bright worked up. But anyway, so I decided to make myself a little hat. Let me show you here. I'll put it on real quick for you. Oh boy, I look like, I don't know, with all these colors on. You can wear it a little bit slouchy or flip up the brim if you like. But anyway, let me tell you the pattern. I have it, oh, right here. I used the pattern called, it's called Jeans Hat, right here for you. See, you can see the detail and the stitching in this. The yarn here that they used is not variegated like the one I used. It's a very pretty stitch pattern, very easy to do. Like I said, it is called Jeans Hat by Lazy Knitting, and I do believe it was a free pattern, so that's why I just grabbed it real quick and decided to work it up. And you can't really, well, you can kind of see. It's like a broken rib kind of pattern. They did do, and for whatever reason, I'm not sure, I wasn't paying attention, but the brim, the ribbing here that they did was double the length and then flip it up. For whatever reason, like I said, I wasn't paying attention, and I just wanted to finish it probably. But it's perfect. I can either wear it folded up like this or a little bit slouchy. And I think I'm going to look for some kind of a, maybe more towards the white kind of pom-pom. But anyway, it's a warm hat. So that's something quick and easy that I decided to finish and went ahead and did it. So might be something you want to try for this month of February here. All right. Let's see. I have actually another finished object. I wanted to make some coasters, some little heart coasters. If you've been watching me, you may have seen that I typically for the holidays, for St. Patrick's Day, I did little shamrocks. For the fall, I did little leaves, little maple leaves as little coasters. And I had all that yarn from the baby blanket, and I thought I found a pattern, and I think it was a free pattern, so I figured I'd try. It was crochet, and let me show you it here. This is how it came out. It's very cute, right? I think it's more like a mug rug with the thick yarn that I use, the Redheart yarn. It is nice and thick. If for a mug or a glass, it would work perfectly. That is called, let me see, Hearts of Hope Coasters. So like I said, it is a crochet pattern. I believe it was free. I'll link it below. So if you have some, even dishcloth type yarn, cotton yarn would be good. But like I said, this was the leftover pink from the baby blanket that I had, and I thought I just needed to use some of it up. So I whipped this up. Easy to do, easy to follow directions. They are written, and also they have a schematic on there for you to follow. But anyway, there's that nice little mug rug. I think I might take that to work and use it at work. Okay, what else? Before I that is about all that I think I want to show for now before I get into talking about the sweater, which is the main reason why I wanted to do this podcast. I do have some things, some acquisitions to talk about that you might like to see. So let me go ahead and talk about those. All right. So what I purchased a Yarn of the Month type club. This one is from Hypnotic Yarns. I don't think I talked about them before, but I'll put their information below. And this was the February box or package that I got. If it's a surprise, so you might want, I'm going to show it. So if you are getting this box, you might want to look away or pause the video or fast forward. But I wanted to show it because it is so beautiful, and it might be something, like I said, that you want to go ahead and subscribe to. It is Hypnotic Yarns, as I said. It came with a beautiful package of goodies here, and then a beautiful skein of yarn. Let's see, it came with a hot chocolate on a stick. So cute. Before I went ahead and used it, I wanted to make sure I show you. So anyway, like I said, look away if you don't want to see it. It came with a little package of chocolates also here, candies, which I haven't gotten into yet. And the most adorable, let me show you this little progress keeper. Oh my goodness, it looks like a piece of fudge cake. Look at that. Is that just adorable? So cute. Oh my goodness. That's adorable. So anyway, that came with it. And then you also get a little scratch off discount that you can use in their shop. So that was pretty cool, I thought. Nice little package. I'm not sure if they have any, I think they only have so many of the memberships to give out. And now that I'm thinking, I think I did register a few months ago, and they contacted me and said, you know, we do have an opening. So this was my first package that I got. And like I said, I just love it. Here is the yarn. It is beautiful for this month. Like I said, everything here today looks like it's in the purples and pinks for the month of February colors. Anyway, this is the yarn. Look at this. This is called Raspberry Cream. Isn't that just beautiful? A little bit of the brown in there and the raspberry pink color. Just gorgeous. Can you see that? It is a fingering weight. It's on their plush sock. It's an 8515 superwash. Gorgeous. I am going to have to work these socks up. So that was an acquisition there, and something you might want to check out. The other thing I did, I was either on, maybe it was Instagram, and you know how things pop up, and I saw that there was a sale going on, and I've never purchased anything from this shop. It is called Flower Hill Fleeces. So I figured I'd give it a try, take a look and see what they had. And they had one, let me see which one it is here. I think it was the slub. I bought a slub and a Siri alpaca. Now this, it's looking a little, it's more burgundy in there than it is, it looks a little bright here. But anyway, it's a little more burgundy colors here, and the slub has a little bit of gold in it. It's so beautiful. And then the burgundy Siri alpaca to go with it. Only the slub was on sale, so I went ahead and got that. I don't know if you watched a podcast where I had made a shawl holding a slub yarn and a cereal alpaca that I did end up giving to my daughter-in-law for Christmas. But I just love it. Was so soft and beautiful. So I thought when I saw this and they were having a sale, and I saw that they had the matching cereal alpaca, which is what I used for the other shawl, I just had to get it. So I intend to knit up. In fact, I want to start right away, but I have other things to do. But anyway, I'm going to do that same shawl. And let me see if I can find, I forget what the name of that was. The Georgina Shawl. That's what it was. It was the Georgina Shawl by Knit. And I had used yarn by Suburban Stitcher for that. And it came out just beautiful. So this one will be for me. So, all right. Again, that was from Flower Hill Fleeces. Okay. And I think that's about all. Oh, no. Oh, okay. You know what? I have another finished object that was hiding under here. It's another crochet project. When I did the mug rug for out of this one here, it wasn't delicate like I thought it was going to be, of course, because of the yarn, but it's a great, it'll make a great mug rug. Like I said, I wanted some coasters. So I was looking around and I found a pattern called Lacey Hearts Coasters by Natasha J. I'll show you here. Look how beautiful those are, right? In different colors. All right. So how quick this knit up. I had some, I think it's a DK weight. It is, oh, I have it right here. Yeah, it's a cotton DK from Sirdar. And this is what I used, this beautiful little blush kind of pink here. The color, the shade is number 526. I went ahead and worked that up, and here is the one I made. Of course, I need to make a set, hopefully at least 4 of them. And maybe I'll check my stash and see if I have other colors. But this blush pink is really pretty, I think, there. So it did, it worked up really quick. It is a little thicker. I do like the using the thread, like the size 10 crochet thread, but I just thought this is really pretty. So I have that one. And what else? And as I was looking, you know what? I do have a couple other, another thing here. Oh my goodness. I was looking for a pattern for crochet thread, and I came across this one, something to do with hearts. I love to make doilies. You see that there? Aren't those pretty? And it looks like different sizes depending on what size thread or yarn you use and what size needle. This was a free pattern by Yarnspirations, and it, like I said, it's called Heart's Desired Doily. And I had this in my stash. Let me see where, okay. I had this number 10 cotton yarn in my stash. I can't, Garden 10 it is called, but it's like it's a very pretty, not really, I think the color's coming out true. It is like a magenta burgundy type color, very pretty. So I thought I'd try that. And right before I decided I was going to podcast, I had already started it. And I just love, I don't know if anybody else, I love doilies. I know people don't use them anymore, but they are fun to do. To me, they're very fun to do. Of course, it's the thread and the very small hook. This one is actually a size 5. And I think that's what the pattern called for. Or you can use different sizes. It does have that. But anyway, and I guess whatever, depending on what size you use and what kind of thread or yarn you use, you'll get a bigger or smaller one. And I thought maybe these would be pretty little coasters also. You can see the hearts just starting to form there. So let me know, does anybody else still find it fun to make doilies? Like I said, I just love to, when I crochet, this is what I prefer doing. But anyway, so that is something, like I said, I just started within the last half hour before I decided to do this podcast. I figured I'll take a look and see what's out there. And this was a free pattern, so I'll be sure and put that below for you. All right, I think that's all I have for now, except for, like I said, talking about that sweater that I wanted to do. I didn't get a big response, just a couple people, but I wanted to go ahead and put it out there again. If anybody wants to join me in making a sweater, it's about time. I think I wear my sweaters constantly, and I need more of them. As you can see, I like little things. I guess it's instant gratification for me, but I love my sweaters. So I decided I needed to make another one. And I had asked last time if anybody wanted to join me. That would be wonderful. And we would start today, the beginning of February. And the one that I'm making is the Sherwood Sweater. Let me find a better picture here. I know I have it. Yeah, this one right here. See how pretty that is? Just a little bit of color work here and around the sleeves. So if you haven't done color work before, this is a good one, I think, to start with, to try your hand at. Sweater knitting, I've read through it. It seems very, the instructions look great so far. I've already started it, and I'll show you that. The instructions are very clear, I think. It is done with a DK weight yarn, and I'll show you the yarn that I am using. Anyway, you start from the bottom and work up. It has this V-neck here. It's more like, to me, it kind of looks like tunic, but I guess it depends on the amount of ease you want. And she explains that in the pattern. I don't like them real loose, but I do like a longer sweater. So this looks perfect for me. You can always adjust, and maybe if you wanted it shorter, you can certainly do that. I'm not as fond of doing sweaters bottom up as I am top down. I like the top down because you can try on as you go, and I can put it on and see how long it's going to be. So it's a little harder when you start at the bottom. You can't see how long, but this looks like a longer drop of a sweater. So I think I'm going to be really happy with that. And like I said, I've started it. So have any of you decided to go ahead and make this sweater? It is a paid-for pattern. Or if you wanted to do a different sweater, let me know. Put it in the notes below, share it, comment below, and it'll be fun to see who is making what. So I haven't yet, but I will if I get some responses out there of somebody that wants to make this sweater or other sweaters. I'll put a link to Ravelry thread out there where you can share your tips and tricks and ask questions, maybe if you're a newer knitter or newer to color work, or just want to share what you're doing out there. So I will have all that below, and I'll open a thread in Ravelry that you can check out. But I'd like to see in comments below if there is any interest in it. Like I said, I know there are a couple people that want to do it. But let me show you what I am, I showed on the last one, and I'll put in notes also. I am using this DK yarn that I have. It's called Wild Blueberries, and it is by, oh my goodness, my North Pole, Alaska. I'll put it all below. But anyway, I am using this for the main body of the sweater, and I am using this as the contrast color for the little bit of color work. This is Finn. The name of this yarn is Finn right here. Like I said, I shared all this in the last podcast, so you could either take a look at that one or it'll be in the notes. But anyway, I did start it. If you are newer to sweater knitting, you want to be sure to make a swatch, which I did. I had to rip it out twice and redo it in different needles just to make sure I was on gauge, and I finally did get gauge. So I don't want to say you want this size needle or that size needle. You can certainly start by seeing what the pattern says, but you need to really do a swatch because everybody's style of knitting is a little different. You might be looser or tighter, and color work, they suggest in the pattern to go up a size for your color work. I know a lot of people, when they do color work, it tends to be a little tighter. With me, I do two-handed color work, so mine actually tends to be a little looser, actually. So I just stay with the same needles, and I don't see any tightening of my stitches. But you might even want to do a swatch with the color work in it, so you can see if you need to adjust your needle size. If you have any questions or need any information, actually there are tutorials within this pattern that can walk you through some different things. But any questions you have, you can certainly email me, ask below, or put in the Ravelry thread that I'll open up out there. I am always ready to help anybody that might have questions. So we're going to kind of do this together. So if you are doing this sweater, or if you're doing a different one, please feel free to ask questions. It's a learning process, certainly. But anyway, so this is my cast on here. You start with this really unique type of edging here. And I don't want to give anything away as to how the pattern is written, but it is something different. I have not done that before. And actually it wanted you to double your yarn. That's all I'm going to say. And when I saw that, I thought, oh my goodness, is that going to work? But it actually did. So trust the pattern. So far it has worked. So if you are reading your pattern, haven't started yet, want to start, and you read that, trust the pattern. It does work. The color work starts pretty quick. I was a little concerned that this might roll. Not sure. It isn't really. It is maybe a little bit, but maybe with blocking that won't be a problem. But I even thought to myself, maybe I should do a couple extra rows before I start my color work, but I did not. I followed the pattern. I wanted to follow the pattern so I'd be able to let you know how it's working out. So, you know, you might, like I said, the edging here may block out just fine. And like I said, it's on these needles. So it's not really curling that I see. You may want to allow yourself maybe a couple extra rows before you start the color work if you're worried that that may curl up on you. But anyway, you can see I just started my color work here. And my, I'm using that variegated, what I want to say, the hand-painted yarn with the different colors. It has a little bit of purple in there, but I don't think it takes away from the color work. It's a little more subtle, which actually for me is just fine because I am a little more, I like that little subtle look. I don't like the high contrast, but certainly if you like high contrast, I mean, you could do this in a white or whatever you might like, whatever matches your main color. Oh, I'm gonna lose my stitches here, so I better be careful. There we go. Anyway, so that is the start of mine here. It is done in the round. There's not a long floats for this. So it's here, you can see the back of mine with the floats right there. Can you see that? So it's really not bad at all, and there isn't much of the color work. So like I said, if it's something that you haven't done and want to try, certainly I'd give this a try. As far as the technique for the beginning here, there is a tutorial out there to watch, and I actually had to watch it. Like I said, I thought, is that really going to work? But it did, and it's really pretty. I really like it. But my only suggestion is maybe to allow a little bit, maybe 2 more rows down here before you start the color work if you're afraid it's going to roll up. But with blocking, I think it should be fine. And I am losing stitches. Yikes. Okay, let me get those back on before I have to cry. But anyway, there we go. All right, so that is the start of my Sherwood Sweater by Kimberly McElladin. So like I said, if you want to join me in a sweater knit along, getting a new sweater on the needles, whether it's this one or something different, I hope you'll comment below and let me know what you're doing, and join me over on Ravelry if you are, and be sure to ask any questions if you need help, myself or anybody else that may be out there. I'm sure we'll also love to help. But anyway, so I think I'll go ahead and close this episode for now. I will be back in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from now on a Saturday, I will go ahead and put out another podcast. Mainly, hopefully I'll have a couple other finished objects, but mainly to see how everybody is progressing on their sweater, and if anybody needs help, I can always do a tutorial also, so just let me know that. But other than that, I will see you in about 2 weeks. So happy knitting.